Alright, welcome back to me doing completely random and weird arena runs for no reason. Because I've kind of run out of things to do in this game, so I just do like a bunch of meme runs. It's kind of like what Northern Lion does, right? Once you've actually mastered a game, and I should put that in like huge quotation marks, then you just start doing whatever you find fun. And it turns out this was pretty fun. I decided to go for like the perfect food build. I was trying to think like, is it even possible to achieve? There's so many things you need to get this perfect food build. And it technically isn't perfect, but it has all the key components. So what like is involved in the perfect food build? Well, I was going for a rabbit, cat, cow, and seal. That's 4 different units right there that all involve food. And then my last unit was a swan, so I could buy more stuff. And I ended up actually getting it. So, spoilers. I mean, I'm sure it's in like the thumbnail or something, so it's not actually a spoiler. And people are probably used to spoilers anyway. It's not like I'm spoiling some major movie here. Anyway, you can see the start that I got. It's fish otter, pretty good. I mean, this is kind of what the speedrun strat is usually. Uh, and it's quite good. You can also, like, if you really care about winning, so kind of the weird thing about this run, though, is that I'm not really trying to win the early game. I'm actually trying to go for draws and potentially losses, like in this round. Because you have the same amount of hearts, or the same amount of lives, when you have 9 hearts versus 7 hearts, those are both 3 lives when you lose 3 hearts each. So I was just trying to lose this round. Unfortunately, I failed to lose. Can't even lose at this game. I'm so bad. I immediately get a rabbit though on turn 5. And now I'm kind of just stalling until like turn 7 and like turn 9. That's when all the food stuff is unlocked besides rabbit. But this is just like the middle game where I'm trying to not lose. It's really hard to play for draws. If you really want to go for draws, you could have like a bunch of badgers and have like a badger chain with no B at the back. But then also that kind of messes up the rabbit. I decided to go for Swan though. Swan is definitely a great unit. It's pretty much the only tier 2 that's worth taking. Most of the time, just like general arena advice here, you want to level up on turn 3. You want to get like, just buy as many tier 1s to get those level 2s and hope for a good tier up because those are so helpful. There's a lot of good tier 3s and I feel like it's just a significant step up from tier 2s. The tier 2s don't really mean too much. But if you can get like that early ox, early kangaroo, early giraffe, there's just so many good tier 3s. Early badger, those are I think all of them. But yeah, just a lot of good things. Sometimes it's even worth it to just buy a spider and pill it and then also get a tier 3 that way. And I got an early cow. And then I decided, you know what, like, I don't know what is actually going to stick around since I know I'm going to sell fish and I'm going to sell kangaroo. So what's going to stick around? I guess the cow's going to stick around. I'll just start buffing the cow. And it kind of worked out decently well. But turn 8, not a lot to do here. I thought about going for level 3 swan, but I usually don't do it unless if you get a lot of swans early on, and then you can go into like bison. But obviously we're not going bison here, so maybe not like a terrible play to just leave the swan at level 2. Level 3s in general are often not worth really going for. I think the level 3s I usually go for are fish and mosquito, and fish isn't even worth it some of the time. But like mosquito, especially in verses where people know that melon armor is really good, and you're like freezing pills and turtles to just pill, that's very helpful. You'll see a lot of level 3 mosquitoes if you do verses. But this is arena, so we don't actually have to worry about that too much. Most people just kind of play this game casually. Although, as the game continues to evolve, players will continue to get better and better. You can see I only have a level 1 rabbit, which isn't too amazing, but we have the cow, and I'm still looking for that seal. Obviously, cat is tier 6, so that's going to take an early level up or just waiting until turn 11. The weird thing about these food builds, especially with rabbit and cow, is that you get so much more health than anything else, and you kind of just have to like plan for that. Usually that means you want to go like bone attack and steak and everything, but eventually my stats get good enough that I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Level 1 seal, it's a nice backup scaling versus like penguin and cow. It's not as good for sure, but like if you do get an early seal, I usually take it, and as long as like you can get level 2 seal, you'll scale pretty well, and I think you should be fine. as long as you don't run into any of the god teams. Like, I feel like Arena, especially, it's just all about who you match into. Like, you can see this is a pretty weak team, so I get a little lucky. But sometimes you'll just match into someone who has an insane team, and there's nothing you can do. If you just do that like 3 times in a row, you kind of just lose. But now I'm thinking like, okay, do we just hard roll for what we want here? Because I'm kind of far behind. I only have 3 more turns if I win all of them. And then we perfectly get a cat, so that's beautiful. But I was thinking about buying sushi, but I was just going to think, like, let's just roll for the things we need, which is cows and cats. I want to at least get a level 2 cat and then try to get a level 3 cow. That was my plan. And see all the amazing buffs that can happen from just buying like 1 milk. If you don't know, they actually, changed the cow so that now when you level it up, the milk also upgrades. I could have maybe tried to go for level 3 seal, but I figured that wasn't too high on the priority list. And I was down to lethal after that loss, so I needed to buy some things, and I just ended up buying quite a bit of steak. And steak is pretty good food item, I think. Very underrated, because melon armor can get sniped by like splash attack or mosquitoes or like flies, whatever it is. But usually, as long as your unit lives, which most of the time it will, unless they have like a leopard, then you get to use that steak attack, and it can make very bad units very good, because suddenly instead of 10 attack, it has 30 attack, which is quite good. I already mentioned that, but I'll just repeat myself. You know, when you repeat yourself, it makes you like seem like you know what you're talking about. I got the level 2 cat, and now we're working on the level 3 cow. So you can see here, we're already getting +6, +12 for every milk. And this guy, and don't forget the +1 health from the rabbit. So +6, +13 for each one. And I decided to not go for level 2 rabbit. I just wanted to get the cow. And you can see, I was super happy with this next turn. We got so lucky to be able to finish it off. But here we got to make sure we win. Another cat seal player. But luckily, I have the better food build here. I'm like, okay, to get level 3 cow, we have like 6 rolls, I guess. And it's looking really bad. But then, wait for it. Oh my god, we got 2 cows on 1 roll. It's so perfect. I didn't really need to buff the seal here. So I thought about it and was like, okay, let's buff the cat instead. +6, +13. Man, that is insane buffs. +12, +26. From 1 cow, and there we go. Level 3 milk, +9, +8, 19, +2, +2. So just, you want to do the math on that? That is an insane amount of stats. Just truly absurd, so satisfying. And of course, we have to end it off with a win here, which luckily we do, but we have so much health. It's just such good stats. It was a really enjoyable arena run. I like trying to go for this a lot. And thanks for watching. See ya.